my group is studying what principals and coaches are doing to make math labs more productive. So not only in the lab itself, but then also throughout the year, in between labs, how are principals and coaches taking up the ideas that are in math labs that are really attending to a conceptual understanding of mathematics and attending to student sense-making of mathematics? So how is that showing up across the school, in classrooms, across the school day, and then also in other professional development opportunities for teachers? One of our big findings is that, or preliminary big finding, is that they need to pay attention to teacher learning. So in the technical implementation, they're really paying attention to what students are learning, which is awesome and totally important, but they're not paying attention at all to themselves as teachers. What am I trying to learn about this? And we think that if they pay attention to that, then in the beginning they can say, the teacher learning goal for today is to learn how to do accounting collection. Like, what are we going to do? What are the steps to do it? But hopefully by the next lab, they can say, okay, we learned how to do that. Now we're going to pay attention to the underlying mathematical concepts that we can apply in these other places in our math teaching. Right? When we've seen principals align the work in math labs with other structures in the school, we've seen it be more productive and less of it's happening in math lab, and then 6 weeks later it happens again in math lab. But when it exists in other structures, like in PLCs, like through the evaluation process where principals are in classrooms observing teachers, where they're observing and giving feedback around the ideas that show up in math lab, then we are seeing the ideas of math lab, which, this is, you're a teacher and you're really paying attention to student thinking and offering opportunities for high quality student learning, then we're seeing it happen. The math labs themselves are higher quality and more towards ambitious instruction. We're seeing some principals use math labs to shift the school culture as a whole. So typically, people talk about the egg crate classroom, right? These classrooms, everyone shuts their door. Well, math lab blows the doors away, right? You are trying messy things in front of other teachers. This is really kind of radical. And we're seeing that principals are leveraging this radical way of being a collaborator in a school, not only in the labs themselves, but elsewhere. So they're